considering its release by using NASA in 1977, Voyager 1 has been traveling via space for 45 years and has in the end reached the brink of our solar gadget. This has been lengthy expected, however, opposite to what scientists have continually believed. The space probe simply located something really sudden on the so referred to as fringe of our solar device, leaving all and sundry with more questions than solutions. What did Voyager 1 discover? Be part of us as we screen Voyager 1's impossible discovery after 45 years in space. During the interstellar day trip, the Voyager probes hit a substantial milestone once they were given to the part of space called the heliopause, which is the boundary keeping apart the solar's effect from the big expanse of interstellar space. Now bear in thoughts that the exact role of this boundary had lengthy been a subject of discussion, but thank you to the projections of astronomer Bill Gurney in 1993, it becomes envisioned to lie among 116 and 177 astronomical gadgets, and each AU is equivalent to the gap between the Earth and the Sun. Gunn's estimations were proved to be in factor whilst Voyager 1 reached the heliopause approximately 2 decades later, detecting the expected upward thrust in plasma density. Here's where the exciting puzzle emerged. Notwithstanding the growth in plasma density determined by Voyager 1, there was no sizable alternate in the ambient magnetic subject direction. This was unexpected due to the fact a transition from an area wherein the magnetic field originated from the Sun to one in which it came from different stars have to have prompted an important shift. However, no such factor became witnessed. Scientists' probable notion Voyager 1 was the problem, but Voyager 2 similarly delivered any other layer of thriller to the puzzle whilst it reached the heliopause on the equal distance as its dual but failed to detect any magnetic subject modifications. These unexpected observations pose challenges to theoretical models depicting the behavior of the heliosphere and how it interacted with the interstellar surroundings. The prediction that there has been a synchronization between the heliosphere and the solar's 11-12-month cycle did no longer align with the records gathered by the Voyager probes. Additionally, the solar wind, which fluctuates with the sun cycle, changed into at its most powerful while Voyager 2 arrived at the heliopause, suggesting that the anticipated role of the boundary ought to have been in addition out than 120. But it's now not all hopeless for the reason that information gathered by the Voyager probes has been instrumental in refining theoretical models. Due to the Voyager's discovery, scientists now agree with that our Sun has moved from a warm ionized quarter to a partially ionized phase of the galaxy, probably induced via close-by supernova. Those exploding historical stars heated the surrounding place and removed electrons from adjacent atoms. The boundary between these regions may be likened to a turbulent beach, characterized by way of combined magnetic fields and small-scale modifications close to the heliopause, whilst negligible variations arise on large scales. As what would become of the Voyager probes, their paths separated with Voyager 1 heading towards the constellation Ophiuchus and Voyager 2 making its manner to the constellation Cetus. At the same time as some scientists predict that the probes can have their mission in 2030, they could potentially bear for hundreds of thousands of years, outlasting our species. Perhaps someday they may encounter other superstar systems, carrying with them the golden record, a time pill of humanity. However, the Voyagers failed to simply fly into outer space on their personal. They had been dispatched out with missions that had a lot to do with the future of humanity, exploring the deep depths of the cosmos. After America misplaced the robotic race to the moon towards the Soviet Union inside the 50s, the point of interest of area exploration experienced a shift. The moon and area dominance had been nevertheless noticeably appealing, so attention became toward a greater popular and well-funded manned application. At some point of that time, unmanned exploration became pushed to the historical past to tackle an assisting function, with missions like Ranger and Lunar Orbiter paving the manner for future Apollo missions. But the concept of exploring other planets captured the creativeness of many, coming in second-handiest to the pleasure surrounding the Apollo missions themselves. As a result, exploration programs naturally gravitated toward the subsequent step, exploring other planets. Looking back, some humans generally tend to overstate the medical significance of unmanned applications in comparison to the political and technological goals of guy flights. They argue that the robotic missions were more scientifically pure in layout and purpose, downplaying the scientific achievements of manned missions. But the reality is the promise of shooting photographs of the planets became what absolutely captivated and ignited the ardor of the Yank public. The prospect of seeing those astonishing pics sparked the greatest interest and enthusiasm during the golden age of spaceflight. Magnetospheric physics and gravimetric research are indeed crucial, and their importance cannot be denied. However, it was the search for planetary snapshots that absolutely resonated with people. The dream started out to grow to be truth on September 5, 1977, when an extraordinary spacecraft became launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, which is renowned for its checking out of missiles and space probes. This occasion marked the beginning of an high-quality journey as Voyager 1. A spacecraft was launched into area. Apparently, Voyager 1 wasn't released first due to the fact just 15 days earlier its twin, Voyager 2, had taken off on the identical cosmic adventure. Their venture changed into to explore Jupiter and Saturn, the gasoline giants of our solar gadget, together with their specific moons. What no one notion was that these intrepid explorers could surpass their preliminary dreams and mission to the farthest corners of the celestial horizon. The Voyager twins had been ready with cutting-edge technology even by using the requirements of their time. From their engines to their propellers and antennas, everything became meticulously designed for durability. NASA were given its thought from the Mariner spacecraft, however, brought some exciting modifications. The accomplishments of those Voyager probes had been nothing brief of spectacular. More than 40 years in the past, their early observations of Jupiter and Saturn's moons left researchers surprised as they watched their preconceived notions about those distant worlds shatter before their very eyes. In advance, it was idea that the overseas moons were desolate and percent-marked like our very own moon rooms. But scientists belatedly discovered them to be teeming with geological pastime. Voyager 2 specifically accomplished several exceptional milestones. During its journey in 1986, it became the first spacecraft to skip by means of Uranus, and most effective 3 years later, it carried out a flyby of Neptune. Voyager 2 stands as the only spacecraft to have embarked on one of these courses to this present day. As those resilient spacecraft preserve their particular voyage, NASA has implemented measures to increase their operational lifespans. Over the past few years, non-important components and warmers have been deactivated to preserve electricity for the probes. It is a strategic pass that guarantees that the Voyagers can continue functioning properly into the subsequent decade, and the expected assignment stop date is 2030. The end result of the Voyager missions inspires bittersweet emotions for the scientists and engineers who've performed crucial roles in this superb adventure since its inception. Their unwavering willpower and tireless efforts have carried the task far beyond its initial expectations. The statistics transmitted via the Voyagers has yielded invaluable insights, propelling limitless scientific discoveries and fueling the imaginations of researchers and space enthusiasts throughout generations. It's vital to observe that Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were no longer your regular spacecraft. They were meticulously designed to be solid systems. Their rotation rate is more than 15 times slower than the hour hand of a clock. This planned layout choice minimized any blurring of images and records because the spacecraft zoomed through space. Scientists and most people never ceased to be astonished by their amazing imaging talents. Even before their encounters with the outer planets, the spacecraft started out beaming back photographs of Jupiter. While still numerous months far away from the planet, these early snapshots showcasing the swirling clouds and the well-known extraordinary red spot introduced sheer satisfaction to the human beings at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. But it was the discovery of lively volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Io that stole the show. It's a little bigger than Earth's moon, but the exceptional element is that it turned out that there's no volcanic body in the complete solar gadget as lively as that moon. The spacecraft detected some odd signals emanating from Io, and the shiny snapshots they captured showed the findings. Those snapshots revealed towering volcanic plumes and a surface marked by using the ejection of volcanic material. One of Io's prominent volcanoes, Pele, has even erupted 30 instances better than Mount Everest, blanketing an area nearly as large as France. In total, the Voyager spacecraft snapped over 33,000 pics of Jupiter and its moons, revealing the planet's lovely beauty and the terrific range of the Jovian moonscapes. Before we dive into the latest mind-boggling discovery, allow us now not forget about that the twin Voyagers have been uncovering breathtaking findings because their release. One of the maximum spectacular revelations turned into the lifestyles of Jupiter's jewelry, which although faint, added an extra layer of intrigue to the fuel massive. On top of that, Voyager 2 unveiled the icy shell of Europa, one of Jupiter's 53 moons believed to be over 60 miles thick. These findings challenged our preceding assumptions approximately these a ways off celestial bodies and sparked further investigations into the habitability of icy moons. As the Voyagers bid farewell to Jupiter, they received a gravity assist that gave them an important improve, propelling them in the direction of Saturn. Without this nifty push, they would not have escaped the Sun's gravitational pull and ventured deeper into space. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 then went their separate methods, every heading in the direction of new frontiers. Voyager 1 launched into a trajectory that added it close to Saturn's moon Titan, enveloped in an orange hazy environment. The mysteries surrounding this moon piqued the hobby of scientists, leading to extra studies on its complicated chemistry. Voyager 1 then veered northward, departing from the plane of the planets and began its epic journey beyond the limits of our Sun gadget. Meanwhile, Voyager 2 launched into a sequence of thrilling adventures that took it to the outermost planets of our cosmic neighborhood. In 1986, it made history with a flyby of Uranus, in which it stumbled upon 10 formerly unknown moons, increasing the planet's moon count number. 3 years later, Voyager 2 reaches Neptune, unveiling the first-rate capabilities of this distant ice massive. During its come-upon with Neptune, Voyager 2 recorded wind speeds of up to 1,000 miles per hour, making it the quickest wind ever determined on a planet within our solar gadget. As the spacecraft zoomed inside 280 miles of Neptune's azure methane-rich ecosystem, it supplied unprecedented insights into this far-off international. Neptune's largest moon, Triton, turned out to be one of the chilliest spots in our solar device. The discoveries made by the Voyager probes have revolutionized our understanding of the outer planets and their moons, opening up new avenues for exploration and sparking excitement for future missions.